What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. All right, man, look. And new junior middleweight champion of the world, Julian J-Rock Williams. Hold up. Coffee. We haven't done this in a while. We haven't had the fireplace, the whole conversation, the whole talk in a while. Yeah, bringing it back on y'all. All right, man, look. Excellent night. I mean, one of the more impactful nights I've seen or experienced in a while. Now, I didn't go live, okay, because it was a free fight, and I've just felt that maybe, I can do this after the fight, kind of recap, give my reaction, but, and I went live yesterday, so I gave the live stream a rest. But I do want to have a few announcements first before I dig into my recap. One, happy Mother's Day weekend to all the mothers out there. Much love to you guys. You are the true fighters out there. Two, Bert Cooper. Rest in peace to Bert Cooper. Fun fact about Bert Cooper, his fighting style was so similar to Joe Frazier that they gave him the name. Okay, Smoking Bert Cooper. One heck of a champion. He lost the fight to cancer, so rest in peace to Bert Cooper. Also, a legend, one of the pillars of boxing. We also lost to cancer, and that's Harold Letterman. Okay, one of my favorite things was when they called out Harold Letterman, and he said, "Okay, Jim." I used to love when he came out laughing. I mocked him every time. "Okay, now, Jim." I loved it to death. Man, he's one of those guys who a pillar of boxing. It really touched me knowing that he passed. That was very impactful. So rest in peace to Harold Letterman. Much love to a future of the sport, a great prospect, a guy who I keep saying should have a fight with Teofimo Lopez in the near future, and that's Mario Barrios. Him winning by KO with a crushing body shot. I think he sent my man to the hospital. I mean, he threw the feint with the right hand, crushing body shot. Also, I want to announce, they announced tonight during the fight, Jarrett, Hurd, and J-Rock, that Manny Pacquiao will be fighting Keith Thurman in July. Okay, so we got that fight announced. I'm saying, just a huge, impactful night. And to put the cherry on the sundae to top it all off, J-Rock, he took the straps from Jarrett Hurd. Now, let's recap the fight a bit. Jarrett Hurd, he did what he always does, okay? And that's start late, okay? So he came in, rehydrated up to a light heavyweight or whatever. Just big, cheeky, head huge, can absorb a lot of punches. He came in against a J-Rock who was in great shape, and he's a great boxer, okay? He lost to Charlo, which it gives a little bit sight on what Charlo was able to accomplish. Jamal Charlo was able to accomplish against J-Rock, knocking him out in the fifth. That shows you how big of a victory that was for Jamal Charlo. So let's give Jamal Charlo more credit for what he did with Julian. But Julian came in shape, did the extra work to pull out this victory, and he had the stamina and the endurance. And that's what with Jarrett Hurd always tried to, he put his weight on you. He challenged those things, see if you can endure, and J-Rock definitely did that. Now, he did what I thought you should do against a Hurd, and I've said this many times, okay? Against guys like Triple G, guys like Hurd, guys like what Mike Tyson was. Make them fight going backwards. Okay, now you saw Canelo Alvarez take it to Triple G, their second fight. You saw what Danny Jacobs did against Triple G. So when you had Frank Galarza, he laid out the blueprint against Jarrett Hurd, okay? And that's make Jarrett Hurd fight going backwards. J-Rock, he took the fight to him. And I know he's a slick fighter, but that's what you do. You meet him forehead to forehead. A guy like Hurd, you got to bring the fight to him. He's not used to that. He's used to eventually opposing his will and pushing you backwards. But J-Rock wasn't down for that. Hitting him with great body shots early so he can kind of steam out. So J-Rock, he tested his endurance, okay? So Hurd ran out of gas. But not only was he hitting him with flush shots, it's not hard to hit Hurd, but what he was doing was spinning him, okay? Boom, boom, spinning him. Not going backwards, but spinning him. Staying right there in his guts, but spinning him. Staying in the wheelhouse, but spinning him. And then after a while, what you saw was Hurd winging shots, shoulder, arm shots. That's when you knew it was over. Somewhere around the 8th round, 9th round. When you saw that Hurd was throwing those arm shots, you knew it was over. You knew Williams really had it because Williams still had snap on his punches. Now, what Hurd forgot to do, what he lost, was he lost the jab. He lost his jab. He lost his straight right hand. When he was doing that somewhere like in the 5th round, I forgot what round that I actually gave Hurd. I didn't give Hurd many, but the round that he took, he threw that straight right hand right down the pipe. He had a nice jab early in the fight. He lost those things, winging and swinging. Another thing that didn't help to Hurd's loss was his corner. That was some of the worst cornering I've seen. Okay, with all the Vaseline digging in the side, I swear, Hurd came out of the corner looking like a sweet roll. He came out looking like a strawberry shortcake or something. He had so much frosting on his eye, okay, that when he tried to wipe it, it went into his eye and blinded him. That corner. How about the tape hanging down like a bungee cord? I mean, that was, it really got ridiculous. And they had shaky hands. They were nervous. They didn't look like champ. His whole team didn't look that strong tonight. And J-Rock, he took advantage of it. The biggest thing that I really wanted to highlight was after the fight, okay? Both of them, they had a lot of class, okay? But what I saw out of J-Rock was he said some things after the fight that, and he was emotional, crying, and that's okay, like he should. I mean, he showed that he came from a very low point in his career, and he climbed all the way up to being on top of the game, on top of the hill now, where he has choices to make. He can fight Hurd again in a rematch with the rematch clause, or he could run the whoever wins between Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo. He has his choices now. But he said something that kind of echoes what we say here on ShowBizz, the adult community. When he told the fans to not demonize fighters for taking an L. Okay, when a fighter take an L, stop getting rid of those fighters. He came at us fans, and he should have. And really, he needs to visit ShowBizz, the adult, come by our community, because that's what we're all about. We talk about being a fan of the sport, respecting the boxers, okay? You take an L, many great fighters take an L. And J-Rock actually said that. He said many great fighters took their L's on their way to becoming great. And it was a sad thing that he had to plead to the fans. Hey, look, man, be a fan. Be a fan of the sport. Be a true fan of me and respect boxers because it's hard doing this job. And it doesn't take much for one fighter to be better than you that night. Now, as far as Hurd and his class, he said he was better than me tonight. He won because he was better than me tonight. And actually, he was. Now, Hurd got dropped in this fight for the first time. I never seen Hurd drop. He got hit right on the temple. It was delayed, and those punches really hurt. Now, Hurd, he's used to absorbing punches and just imposing his will, but against J-Rock, he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that. J-Rock, he put those in the bank, and J-Rock kept using his physical strength, his endurance. He was in great shape, so much love to J-Rock. I think that was a great victory. I would love to see that fight again. I would love to see a trilogy. Why? Because I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of the fighters. And when you see something like that, when you entertain me something like that on free television, it makes me think about that pay-per-view even more. This was free, and this was more valuable than any of those big hype jobs that come out on pay-per-view that's not as big, as great of a actual performance or fight or event than this was. So we got to really start thinking as fans what we watch, what we tune in, and what we're giving those promoters. What we're communicating to those promoters. We need stuff like this. And we like that it's free. And we like that these guys, they really took it seriously and they put it all out there. So much love to J-Rock. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And rest in peace to Harold Letterman and Smoking Burt Cooper. I mean, that was just very impactful tonight. ShowBizz, the adult. I'm looking forward to that Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, man. And it's funny that was actually announced as something solid and cemented before the Sean Porter Errol Spence fight. I'm out.